What's up, guys? Ninth Jim here, bringing another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today we're talking about Galar-Weezing, Galarian Weezing, whatever you want to call him. He is a new Pokemon, new version of an old Pokemon. Really cool Pokemon, really interesting typing, Poison Fairy, giving you only a few weaknesses, a good bit of resistances, and a solid immunity. Immune to Dragon. It's really sweet. Having good switch-ins against Dragon Claws coming in, Draco Meteors. Dragon Pokemon are pretty solid this format, especially in the form of Duraludon and Dragapult. Both are really good. Both are pretty fast, really strong, and you just immune a lot of their attacks. However, they're still kind of scary, especially the Duraludon, since Steel is one of our weaknesses. We are also weak to Ground and Psychic. Ground is pretty relevant. Psychic is less relevant. It's still there, definitely in the meta. However, Ground is very big in the meta. We have things like Mudsdale, Excadrill, a lot of things. A lot of Pokemon, even though those are the only ones that come to mind right now. A lot of really good Pokemon coming in. Pretty hard to deal with. But at least for our resistance moves, we have a lot of them. So Bug, Dark, Fairy, Grass, Fighting. All very solid. Types, more so like Dark, Fairy, Grass, and even Fighting with Conkeldurr rising in popularity. We have a good bit of resistances, and that's pretty solid. So this Pokemon is a very good switch-in, especially since it also has the ability Neutralizing Gas, which just negates every single field ability on the field when it comes in. Huge. This is huge. Negating things like Prankster, negating Intimidate, Mold Breaker. Doesn't really matter because of Levitate. It negates Levitate, though, which is really sweet. So negating Levitate can negate Rotom's Levitates and then have something like your own Excadrill being able to high horsepower into those and just take huge knockouts. That's really sweet. This Pokemon helps a lot of Pokemon take very pivotal knockouts, which is really sweet, and just stopping a lot of annoying things in general. You see your opponent starts Mudsdale, Grimmsnarl, and you think they're going to go for the Swagger combo, or after a little bit, they Safeguard up first. You know, a lot of them use, like, Arcanine as a lead first to set up the Safeguard, or a Togekiss or something, and then later in the game, bring out the Mudsdale. You have Galar-Weezing, switches in, stops their own tempo from happening, and then they don't get to... They go up in attack, of course, but they're still confused, which could be good, could be bad, because they could just hit through and then kill you, and they get out of confusion. But, I mean, those are all high rolls. Those are very, it's coin flip, you know? It's, are they going to get through or not? But negating a lot of things like that is really good. Prankster. Get rid of Prankster. That's really solid. Hitting things like Whimsicott and the Grimmsnarl, making them just attack normally. It's very strong. So, yeah, that's pretty much it there for that. Talking about some stats. Our speed is pretty mediocre, a little under average, 60, not super fast. I have seen some people play this Pokemon with Choice Scarf. I don't know how it works. I tried it at some points. I don't see the damage. It's just not there for me. However, it's pretty fast. It hits 184 speed tier, which is the same as like Whimsicott, and it's pretty solid. You know, a little bit under things like the T-Tar Scarf. A bunch of. It's pretty fast, is what I'm saying. If you use Choice Scarf, I don't see the damage, so I have speed tiers for the Choice Scarf, but I don't have a build, and I don't have the any damage calcs for that. We're focusing on a defensive Weezing, which is good because look at its defense. 120 is an insanely good defense. 65 HP is very solid, and 70 special defense is also pretty average. They're both, like, fine, but defense is where we shine, and then we invest into HP and special defense, and we just are huge. Actually really bulky, and we can tank a lot of really good stuff, and we'll talk about that here in a bit because I have damage calcs. But yeah, that's pretty good. And then attack 90 sucks that it takes all of our stats from everything else into attack, because we're using special attack. Special attack 85, you could definitely run attack. There's just not a great move pool for that, so we stick to special attack. Yeah, that covers everything with that first slide. The reason it's not just all on one slide is because I had a build for the Choice Scarf, and then after I saw damage sucked, we just took that away. And now we just have this build. However, I think this build is much better. This build is really sweet, actually. So, Galar-Weezing Build time, baby. We got Neutralizing Gas, awesome ability. It has access to another really cool ability, Misty Surge, and Levitate, all good abilities. However, Neutralizing Gas is kind of his gimmick, so we're really focusing in on that today. Neutralizing Gas is awesome. Like I said, negates everything that's really, really good. It negates Prankster, even though we have that Prankster Pokemon as synergetic Pokemon. It's still very, very solid for negating those things, and pretty sweet, pretty sweet. So, Neutralizing Gas. We also have Black Sludge as an item. This item is leftovers, if you didn't know. Essentially leftovers. Actually, I believe it is just leftovers. Let me double check. I'm so bad at this. Alright, so 1/6 max health. 1/16. So it gains 1/16, and leftovers is 1/16. Yep. So it's actually just leftovers, but this lets you just use leftovers on another guy too, potentially. Or if it gets tricked, then it deals damage to it. So if they start with like the Whimsicott or a Grimmsnarl eject button trick situation, that's pretty good. Also, it kind of negates that in general, just because it gets rid of Prankster, and they typically will go for like a quick attack or something like that. I'm out of breath. I don't know why. Anyway, Black Sludge is pretty sweet. Leftovers is pretty solid on this Pokemon. It's very bulky, so it's good. Move Pool, Strange Steam, and Sludge Bomb are our stabs moves of choice. Just fumbled over my words there. Stab moves of choice, very, very solid. Strange Steam has a chance at confusing as well. 90 base power, I believe, which is pretty solid. Stab. Same with Sludge Bomb, although Sludge Bomb has a little less accuracy, which is unfortunate. But we also have Will-O-Wisp, which is really, really good. Being able to burn things in a very defensive meta, physical meta, is pretty solid. And also to stack on top of our defense, 120 base power or base defense. Will-O-Wisping, we're living a lot of things, which is really good. And then for our last move, we have Protect. You know, Protect. Oh, Protect. Always there. Anyway, we have a couple of other really good moves here as well. Clear Smog, which is good. Single Targeting Haze is pretty solid. Also does a little bit of damage. We also have Haze. Both of these eliminate all stat. So Clear Smog eliminates all the stat changes of one Pokemon. So if you target down a Mudsdale that was swaggered, you eliminate that boost. Haze eliminates all, period, like all on the field of all 4 Pokemon. So, you know, you get to pick whatever you want there out of those two. And then we also have Taunt, which is really sweet. Taunt being especially negating Prankster and then putting out Taunt. We're still not going to be outspeeding. We can outspeed Grimmsnarl potentially, especially if you put like 4 stats into speed, because I believe Grimmsnarl is on the same speed tier. I believe 80. Galarian Weezing and Grimmsnarl. Yeah, so we're actually in the same speed tier. So if we invest 4 speed into our EV, 4 EVs into our speed, then we will be outspeeding Grimmsnarls most likely. So that's pretty interesting. Definitely think about that. And then Dazzling Gleam as well is just very good. Double targeting, move, stab, double targeting. It's pretty solid. And into our investments, we have 252 max invested into HP and special defense, just getting as bulky as possible since we already have an insane base defense. Pretty good. And then we're also Calm Nature, giving us plus special defense and minus attacks since we have no attacks. No physical attacks. Excuse me, I keep doing this weird little thing. Anyway, 9 minutes in. Pretty nice. Looking at our partner Pokemon that we may play. Excadrill. So I touched on this briefly. You can negate Levitate and then use a Sandstorm or a Sand Rush Pokemon. Sand Rush Excadrill becomes Mold Breaker essentially and hits that Rotom. Boom, you're dead. High horsepower, you're dead. It's really sweet. Then we also have Grimmsnarl. This is really just there. Set up some screens, make this Pokemon even harder to deal with, making its bulk amazing. We do get rid of Prankster. However, if you can set up screens, you're still pretty solid. And then we have a couple of flyers. the Braviary and Togekiss, mostly because since we're so weak to ground, that's the main weakness in the game that really hits us hard. We have some flyers to come in, switch in on that. Safe switch-ins is good. More so Braviary than the Togekiss, since Iron Head and Max Steel Spike is so prevalent in the game as well. It's nice to have like something that can dodge both of those. Not dodge, because it'll still do a lot of damage to Braviary, but it won't do as much. Scary things, scary boys, Duraludon, Excadrill, Mudsdale, they're the main three. All having ground. Duraludon and Excadrill both having steel-type moves as well, being able to really clip a lot of safe switch-ins, you know, Grimmsnarl or, like, especially the Togekiss. You know, if you're on Togekiss on the team as well, multiple fairies is kind of scary in this format since Duraludon and Excadrill are so prevalent, and Steel is just so prevalent in the game. So yeah, that's about it for this slide. We'll talk about some speed tiers here. Speed tiers. So this is kind of weird. Like I said, the Scarf, I made this video initially for Scarf, Galarian Weezing as well, is bad, in my opinion. If you can make it work, tell me how you made it work. But in my experience, it's been pretty weak. Maybe working with fake tiers, but fake tiers Pokemon are usually Prankster, and then you might not even outspeed. We'll see how it goes. But anyway, Whimsicott. Why did I say Whimsicott? I was talking about Prankster. Anyway, here we are at 80 speed Galarian Weezing. Tyranitar is at 81. Grimmsnarl is on the same speed tier. I should have mentioned that, or I should have had that in this graphic in case people have me on mute or just skip to this and pause. But Grimmsnarl is on the same tier, which is pretty relevant since we negate Prankster, so we'll be attacking at the same time. We'll speed tier them, or speed tie them, I mean to say. And yeah, that's pretty relevant. Being at 80. We outspeed Scrafty, uninvested Scrafties. We outspeed Mimikyu should be above Mimikyu should be above us. Whoops. Okay. Well, it's under the layer, but you get what I'm saying. Mimikyu is actually above us. I have it down here at 90. It's below. I'm whoops. I'm gonna add a little whoops. This is supposed to, whatever. This looks really bad. Whoops. You can kind of see it. Oh well. Yeah, whoops. I put him below us, but Mimikyu will be outspeeding us no matter what. Is pretty much what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I messed that one up. Anyway, Tyranitar will always be outspeeding us as well. This is uninvested. You'll never see a hindering Tyranitar, and if you do, then tell me, because I want to see that. Anyway, into the Scarf build, we are at 184, max invested into Scarf. The damage is just not there. That's why I took it out, but it is pretty fast, you know. It's on the same speed tier as Whimsicott, and I messed around with thinking, hey, you just put -4 speed EVs of the Galar-Weezing, so 248 instead, or 244, I mean, because you have to do -8, because every 8 after 4 gives you a speed. So -8, so if you give it at 244 speed, you're 1 under the Whimsicott, and then the Whimsicott can set up fake tiers, and then Galar-Weezing can sweep. That was kind of the idea in my head. Maybe that could work, but that is kind of mediocre. I don't know. If you try that and it works, then let me know. That sounds cool. But yeah, that's it. And then Cinderace outspeeds it no matter what. A lot of other things will be outspeeding, you know, every Sash boy, every choice Scarf boy, Swift Swim boys, stuff like that. You know how it go. The fast boys, the naturally fast guys. Anyway, we're gonna talk about some damage calcs here. These are all pretty sweet, actually. So click on that. Go down here. Hey, what's up, Togekiss? What's up, Togekiss? All right. Anyway, into our damage calcs. So 252 max invested Excadrill. This is without Life Orb. This is without it being adamant nature. This is neutral nature, max invested, high horsepower into us, we live. 252 HP, 0 defense investment, 83 to 98.8%. Now, if they're holding a life orb, you're dead. If they Dynamax, you're dead. Pretty much, that's really it, you know? That's good. If we Intimidate, which we won't be because we can't use Intimidate, if we burn it, even if they use a max move, we don't die, which is cool. Or life orb. Anyway, on to the next one. We have 252 max invested. This one is Modest Nature, life orb, Duraludon max steel spike into our 252 HP, 252 plus special defense Weezing. Still doesn't kill. 77.9 to 93%. Pretty solid being able to live a modest max invested life orb, Duraludon max steel spike. That's a big attack. That's gonna kill a lot of things. Now if they fake tears us, ouch. We're dying. Anyway, on to the Mudsdale. We have a max quake, 252 max invested Adamant Nature, Mudsdale max quake. We're dying. A lot of things are killing us that we think is gonna kill us. So yeah, keep that in mind. Anyway, on to some brighter side. Weezing Sludge Bomb into a Whimsicott hits 69 to 82%. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, that doesn't kill. That doesn't even knock us to its sash. Well, if you use a fake out user with it, you fake it out, do 20 to 30%. Boom. Sludge Bomb, you dying. Whimsicott, you out of here. Get out of here. It is faster though, so it's gonna hit us first or use Tailwind or something, but still pretty relevant. We get them. Pow. On to our last one here. This one's a little weird. +2 max invested special attack Togekiss max Starfall. This is a switch in. So if you have like a Dragapult or something out, or like Grimmsnarl or Tyranitar, and you procced the weakness policy of a Togekiss, an offensive Togekiss, it is now +2. It is timid nature, so it's fast. This is max Starfall going in to, you know, like Tyranitar or something like that. You switch in your Weezing, and we live it. Easy. Easy money. 54 to 64%. We're living that every time, guaranteed, even with weakness policy procced. However, a max Airstream the next turn, or even if that's a max Airstream coming in, you're dead. Max Airstream does like 110%. You're dead. You know, with weakness policy procced. If weakness policy is not procced, then whatever. You know, whatever. Who cares? Who cares at all? And Sludge Bomb does a good bit of damage, but not gonna do enough. Not enough to warrant the weakness policy proc if the weakness policy is not already procced or is not already procced. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. I know I rambled a bunch and I kind of messed up my speed tiers and it was weird. And it got really weird, and the Mimikyu I said was slower, but it's faster. Hopefully you can see that 90 is actually above 80. If you didn't know that, then I'm sorry that I misinformed you. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this video today. Galar-Weezing. I recorded this last night, and it's going up today because I'm playing in a tournament, and I had to start at 9. So yeah. So expect a tournament team report if I do good. If I do bad, then expect a meta-analysis video. Expect a meta-analysis video either way, though, because you know how it be. I love reviewing the tournaments and giving everybody the results, finding all the team codes. Let's get good. Let's get good together. Everybody say it with me. Let's get good. Get good. Scrub. Get good, scrub. Anyway, I'm rambling now. It's actually the end of the video. We're at like 19 minutes. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. You know the drill. Like and subscribe if you haven't. If you want to, I'm not going to force you to. But thank you so much, regardless, for watching. Still here through all my rambling. Thank you so much for watching. And yeah, that's it. Comment down below if you want to see a new guy. This guy was even a submission, so I do them. Gengar was, Excelgor, like tell me what you guys want to see. I'll put them up. We're gonna complete the Pokédex. Alright, I rambled for like 2 minutes. Alright, goodbye.